Okay, so I know what you're going to say. Where were you last Sunday, Josh? The truth is, I was manic. For the last, say, 2 weeks, I've been really quite busy. But the little workaround that I found is on YouTube, you can upload a video, keep it private, and then choose a time and date for it to go public. So in future, I'll try and do that best I can. Plus, I'll also be able to give you a time rather than uploading when I'm done. Now, I know what else you're going to say. Josh, last week you were veneering the V-berth. Why have you suddenly decided to start making brackets? And the truth is, to extend the V-berth, I need to make that additional panel. And I can't find out the dimensions of that panel until I've finalised the design of the brackets that are going to be holding it up. So, for example, now I know all that's going to be reducing the panel from being the full width is the thickness and maybe a little bit extra for a little bit of play of that plate. So the flat bar that I'm using is 6mm in this case. With the stainless, I need to make sure I can get the 6mm plate, but it's 6mm here, it'll be 6mm for the opposite bracket. So it means when I measure for the panel, I now know to deduct 12mm. I'll probably call it 15mm, again, just to give myself a little bit of play. So that's why I've went from veneering the V-berth to making the brackets. Although I've also made these brackets so that they can extend not extend, but join the two settees that are in the main cabin. The resulting area is not too far off a Super King, so that's pretty good. And I'm living on the boat while I'm doing her up, so comfort is paramount. I know some of you have said that it seems like I'm doing jobs a little bit backwards sometimes, but I don't mind doing jobs if it makes life on board more comfortable, even if that means I'm going to have to go back and undo the job just to get another job done, if you see what I'm saying. So yeah, the brackets, the finalised design. When I make them out of stainless, I think I'll extend this bit, maybe an extra 5mm, maybe make it 20mm, because that downward force, because there's only a lip that extends to about here, and then that downward force, I want it transferred into the panel a little bit, so it's not all on this lip, because I've counted and only 5 screws holding that lip on, and that's really just there to stop the cushion from sliding off, I think. So, well, I can't show you the brackets and not show you it in action. So underneath the settee here is now an additional piece of ply that pulls out with the brackets there. Sits on, and there we go. But for now, all I can do until the rest of the foam comes is pull across the other cushion. The weight of these brackets, each one weighs around 450 grams. The stainless will obviously weigh a little bit more unless it's a thinner plate, but I'd rather have the extra weight and have a Super King size bed than not. So I was going to try all different ways. I was thinking slats, I was thinking like a metal bar that would go across, but then I realised that the ply that I'm going to pull out and put there has obviously a bit of structural strength to it, so I don't need to span the entirety. And if you can see, this bit sits on the ply, this bit is below it, and it takes into account the thickness of the bit of ply that you're going to be putting into the middle, and that makes it so the foam on each side is the same height. So for example, you're not having the middle cushion being a bit of a hump in the middle, so it should make for a much more enjoyable sleep, just having all the foam on the same level. So now that this is done, next week it'll be back to all the videos about doing the veneering. I'm practically finished with the panels for the V-berth. I tried to use an electric planer to take off 1/4 of a mil of the chain locker bulkhead. I've never used an electric planer before, and I've now learned that was not the tool for the job. So I've bought some more sanding discs. I've got a little hand planer, and I should be able to save it, because the veneer that I'm putting on, luckily it's not a table or a workbench. It doesn't need to be level, it just needs to be flat so that the veneer can adhere well. But the carpet should be up, the panels should be varnished and in, the veneer should be on the walls. It should be I'm trying to figure out a nice little way of, once I've prepared the surface of the bulkheads and some of the vertical bits of ply that are in there that I don't want to take out, I'm trying to figure out a way of applying the veneer, because I'm going to have to cut it to the right size and then apply it. So I don't know, that should be fun, trying to figure it out. Right now all I've got for an idea is to cut out a thin ply, maybe like a 2mm ply panel, get that panel to the perfect shape, put double-sided low-tack masking tape on that panel, stick the veneer to the panel, cut around the panel so that the veneer and the panel are exactly the same size, peel the veneer off, and the veneer should stay because of the double-sided low-tack masking tape. Put it on the panel. I need to try and chamfer the edge, put an angle on the edge so I can jam it into the corner without the ply, without the veneer sticking, and then hopefully just work it down. If the panel's cut to the right shape, the veneer should stick, and then I should be able to get the panel off, because the low tack masking tape won't hold as well as the veneer. So once the veneer is stuck, the ply should peel off. That's what I'm going to try and do anyway. Let me know down in the comments what you think of my brackets, what you think of the overall design. Do you have any ideas that will make it better? Do you have any ideas that are a lot simpler than what I've thought of? There might be something I'm missing that's glaringly obvious. But yeah, let me know, and I'll see you next week back on the V-berth.